Everyone do your longest yeah boy.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, boy!
Congrats.
Yeah.
You won. Yeah.
Okay, see you next time.
That was all.
Alright, so today we're going to talk about...
How about to introduce the name of the actual podcast?
Oh, yeah, sorry, forgot. Oh. So, you probably don't recognize it from another podcast, so we're not going to mention that.
Yeah,
probably,
because they know that it will never be a good podcast without me.
Yeah, the brand is dead. So welcome to Central Station
Podcast.
Central Station. Wow.
Yeah. It's a podcast where we go to a central station in the Netherlands and we just do a podcast.
This week we're starting with Glanenbrug Central Station.
Cool. We're here right now. Oh look! Wow, that's beautiful.
Sick.
That's beautiful. Wow.
The home of Yoppie sauce.
Yoppie sauce.
Right?
Fucking Yoppie sauce.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yoppie sauce. Lay's Yoppie sauce fries, please.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about random stuff. This week it's just the three of us, which are going to be your constant three, and we're going to have a rotating fourth from next week onwards. We're just going to talk about topical stuff, games, movies, whatever is happening.
But we just don't know if the fourth guy is going to fit inside the frame.
Yeah, so you might just be able to hear the fourth guy.
You can't actually see him.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about leaving Neverland.
Leaving the Netherlands.
We're going to
that's a Freudian slip.
We're going to talk about how we're we're going to talk about leaving Neverland. The documentary about Michael Jackson
made by HBO.
What he allegedly did.
I have allegedly.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that yet.
Okay, well we've both watched it. He's done more research into it than I have. I just watched the first two parts.
Wait, how many parts is this?
This 3.
It's 2 parts. Like it's 2 parts of the documentary, and then there's the last one where the Oprah basically like interviews the people who are in the documentary. Okay, pretty interesting.
We're just gonna say now everything that we say is alleged. We're not gonna say allegedly before everything, but all of this stuff is not a fact, I guess.
Nothing is really proven.
No.
So that's why it's such a good subject as well to talk about. It's like, is it true? Is it not true? You know, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. His estate is being sued again yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday.
Well, yeah, they're gonna go.
Are they suing Michael?
They're suing Michael Jackson's estate now. So let's get into it. Maybe you want to start by giving a little background about Wade. He is kind of the main character he's more of a main character than James, I guess.
Yeah. So you got 2 guys, Wade and James. So we start with Wade, I guess. Yeah, he was a dancer, right?
So he's just like a kid. He was like 5 years old, I think, or 4 years old, and what it sounded like from both guys is their parents were not around that much when they were like super young. Okay. They would just kind of be left at home. So Wade, while he was at home, would just watch Michael Jackson music videos and try and copy his moves. He got pretty good at it, and then he entered a competition.
He entered a competition in some sort of mall or something, but all the kids there were like 12 or like I don't know how.
He was too young to be in the competition.
Yeah, he was actually too young, so he just performed there instead of actually taking part in the competition. But then he was so good that the people from the mall just let him win anyway because he was.
The top prize for this competition was to meet Michael Jackson as like a private meet and greet, and then go to his concert that was in. He's from Australia, in Melbourne. So he got to go to his concert there and meet Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So we met him, and it was just like a normal meet and greet. They took pictures. It was high. It was pretty casual, whatever. And then sorry. Actually, first of all, we went to the concert. And whatever, went to the concert. It was a good night. Then it was backstage at the concert. They had the meet and greet. Yeah. And Michael was like, "Oh, you were at the concert tonight, right? If I knew you were out there, I would have
got you on stage."
And then his mom was like, "Oh well, we're going to be there tomorrow night as well." And he was like, "Okay, well, if we get time, I'll come get someone to get you, and you can come up and dance with me."
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how they got to know each other.
Yeah, that's the meeting and the dance, and
it sounds like a wholesome story.
It
really does.
Now. It is.
Honestly, until the last, I would say, 30 minutes of the first half, it's pretty, like, he seems like a really great guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess he just likes the kids. I guess he just gives them, like, an opportunity to, like...
It wasn't that strange for Wade to be on stage with Michael because he had, like, 10 to 12 other kids on stage as well. And, like, there's a video of it, so basically it's pretty funny. All the kids are on stage, but they know the plan. Wade was just got out of the crowd, like, a few minutes before it started. Okay. So they know, like, Michael runs off stage and the kids follow him, and Wade's just still there dancing. Like, he doesn't realize they all left.
It's pretty cool.
So that Michael comes
now I really want to watch it.
It's good. Yeah. Should watch it.
Sure. Well, we're going to tell you what happens now. But
yeah. I'm ready to be shocked.
So then, I guess about James then.
Yeah, James was in this Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, so he was like a kid actor, kind of.
Yeah.
Casually. And he met Michael on this Pepsi commercial, and he was like super nice. Again, like let him come in his trailer. They talked for a while, and he was in there not alone with them, but without his parents. That's kind of the first sort of alarm. It was normal. His stylist was with them.
Stylist, yeah.
But it was still kind of the first time where he kind of created separation between child and parent that we see in the documentary. So his mother was on set with him, and then Michael was like, "Come to my trailer," and it was like alone. It wasn't really transpired like why it happened to be alone, but she just said, "Yeah, I thought it was normal. His stylist was there. She was a woman, whatever. Nothing weird. Nothing weird happened that day."
Okay.
But it's just the first instance of like being alone not alone, but like separating a child from their parents, which is like a big theme.
That's a big thing that he does basically. That's true. So James, he was just this actor, and he was in this Pepsi commercial.
He was a little bit older than Wade. He was 9 or 7 at the time.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's a bit older when they first met, anyway.
Okay.
But the commercial was basically that he drinks Pepsi and then he sees Michael Jackson or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty funny. Like the first time he actually saw Michael Jackson was like the commercial as well. They basically recorded him. Like the first time he actually saw him, so the thing you see in the commercial,
they got his real reaction.
That's pretty cool.
That's nice. Yeah,
he wasn't that big of a fan, he said at the time, but it's still Michael Jackson. So.
It's still a big deal.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk about Wade when he went to the US first. So after he left, there was a lot of phone calls, right? That started then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michael would call Wade a lot after. They met in Melbourne.
Yeah.
After for like the next year or two, they would just call almost every day. They were like best friends, but he would also talk to his parents as well.
Mom and stuff.
He basically made friends with their family after they met.
Okay.
And then Wade was dancing at Disneyland in America.
On his own, or
like with his dance troupe.
Oh yeah.
So they flew there. It was like a big family holiday they took as well. Like him and his whole family went there, and then they got in contact with Michael's personal assistant, because obviously they call every day. Mm-hmm. So then they were like, "Oh, hey, how can we?" No, they weren't calling. They weren't calling.
Yeah, the Australian couple was calling all the time. They were continuously calling them.
Was that not after he came back from America?
No, before that already as well. I think with the meet and greet, they already shared details.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, so they went to Neverland, his house, and they stayed there for the weekend, and then. Did Wade sleep in Michael's bed that time?
Well, I think no.
And his sister, right?
Mm-hmm. I think they just stayed in his room for the time. I don't think they actually slept there.
No, they fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wade and his sister slept in Michael's bed this weekend, but nothing happened. They just kind of. Because the whole thing is.
Oh, you mean they slept with Michael in his bed?
In Michael's bed.
Yeah, well, basically, Michael told them. Michael basically persuaded them to sleep with him in bed, I guess, and then they went to the parents, be like, "Oh yeah, Michael, I want to sleep with Michael," you know.
Oh.
But Michael actually kind of talked it into him already.
Nothing happened that night, particularly. They basically the parents of the two boys kind of described Michael as like a child. The mothers described Michael as becoming one of her kids.
Yeah.
Like that he's not a grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He doesn't behave like a grown up.
Yeah.
So they get lulled into this sense of security, I guess, about how, because what the mothers assumed they were doing and what they were doing for the first little bit was
just watching movies and just
like
playing.
Kids, it was like a sleepover.
Yeah, it was just a sleepover.
This is all new. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But you didn't know about Michael Jackson being a man-child, basically?
Yeah, no, I know that. I've seen the whole thing, but I just didn't know that. I don't know how deep it goes.
But it goes pretty deep.
Yeah, I've heard about it, I've read about it, but I mean, for me personally, if there's someone is accused of something, I don't accuse him until he's proven. So it's all alleged.
Yeah.
But still, this is, I mean,
it's going to be a pain in the ass to say alleged.
You mentioned some really garny details about the thing. So I was like...
This is before, when we talked before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go into that again.
Yeah, then I thought, why would someone, come up with that? just to be like, there's no way someone would come up with that just to be like famous or something.
I just want to say something about that now. I'm going to get back to it later. The accuracy at which the two independent people talked about it, it was the same.
Yeah.
What they said that he did and what he liked was the same.
The exact same.
Oh, yeah. He does the same stuff. There were years apart, so he had evolved a little bit, and like he would do more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it was the same pattern of stuff. We'll get onto that later once we actually get to the abuse and the story.
We'll talk about that later.
We can kind of skip over this, I guess. Just like
So basically, what happened from that point on, Wade and his family met friends with Michael. There's a big thing though. There is the one big thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So Wade, well, this isn't really the big thing, but I just thought of this. So Wade is like, at the end of the weekend, he's like, I want to stay. So his parents leave him with Michael alone, and they go to the Grand Canyon and go on a vacation, and he stays in Neverland for the rest of the week.
Okay.
Is this where the first abuse happens?
I think so. Oh, or it already happened before that.
No, because the sister was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that during this week is when the first abuse happened, and it was just... No, it wasn't. It was in a hotel. So he stayed in Neverland for the week, fine. Then they went to LA with the family, and they stayed in a hotel. And Michael got the same room as Wade, and then he was like, oh, let me show you... did he show him porn first? Or did he show him...
No, I think they just, like, were together in the bed and, like, did stuff.
Mm.
He, like, grabbed his, like, dick and was like... Yeah, like,
he basically showed him how to masturbate.
And then he was like, do the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Allegedly.
That's what they're saying.
That's what Wade says.
That's
so then, up. Yeah, they went back and they were on the phone all the time again. And then Michael was like, you should move to America, to his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should move here. Because he's a sick dancer. He, like, we learn later in the documentary in part 2 that he, like, Wade, like...
he's a choreographer. He makes, like...
He was a creative director for Britney Spears' first world tour when he was 16.
Oh,
he did, like, video clips for, like... what is Justin Timberlake?
So he like, basically taught Justin Timberlake how to dance.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy talented.
He's really good.
And he's younger than Justin Timberlake, or not? How old is he
at the time? Now he's in his 30s, but at the time, he was, like, 19.
I think, with Britney Spears...
With Britney Spears, he was 16?
Okay.
Or 17. I think 17.
When he went...
What is his full name? I want to see.
Wade Wilson, right?
Wade Robson. And James...
Wade Wilson. He's Deadpool.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Kills people, dude.
What do we put in the background for this?
Just put like fire.
No, he's a super good looking dude as well.
All of the kids that are like acquainted with Michael Jackson are good looking kids, which kind of like fucks me up. I don't know. He doesn't make friends with like girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, is it only about boys?
Yeah. Yes.
All the like child friends he has are like
really like good looking boys.
Little boys.
Okay.
Also, this is like not something that is really relevant to the whole story, but James was talking later on when he was like 12 or 13. Michael got married, and he called him and was like, "Well, I'm going to have these public relationships with women now, so people don't think anything is going on." This was after the first trial in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah. So other kids basically took him to trial.
Yeah, just one other kid, and then so obviously people were like a little bit suspicious then. So he got married to like. Okay.
So Wade did not sue Michael.
No. This is kind of the fucked up part. So we'll get back to. So you want to talk about him moving to America and like how that happened?
Like Wade?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So they basically moved to America. I think Michael even bought them a house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh well. No, it was like. Oh no! So they had another trip to America in between this where something fucked up happened.
Yeah.
So they went to America again, and then Michael was like, "I want Wade to stay with me for a year."
Yeah.
Like, you can go home. I want Wade to live with me for a year. We'll do a lot for his career. We can make music videos. We can go on tour, stuff like this. And his mother was like, "No."
Yeah, that's too far.
She's like this. She's like, "I'm." At this point, they were like so close. She's like, "I will share my son with you, but I'm not going to give him to you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then Michael was like, "I always get what I want." And that was like the first. This is the first kind of creepy shit, apart from the little bit of abuse that we've been told about in the documentary happens. He's like, "I always get what I want," and he like laughed.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like a little bit obviously fucking creeped out about this. So they went back to Australia, but then he worked on her for like 2 years.
Yeah, he kept like calling and faxing. I think
he started faxing Wade.
Like messages.
Constant. So there was just constant contact between him and Wade to the point where like he really just made people depend on him too much. And made them feel like they couldn't survive without him, financially, emotionally, everything. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Kind of sugar daddy.
Especially the kids. He would make the kids like Wade didn't have a really good relationship with his dad.
Yeah, so he made him think that his dad was like bad.
And then when they moved to America, then after this, so explain how that happened, like with talking.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not fully 100% sure. But like, so I think they bought them a house.
Yeah. So basically, his mother was like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave his dad.
Yeah.
And we're gonna move to America with Wade and his sister, and his brother and his dad stayed in Australia. His brother was like an adult at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So her whole family like, you're crazy. Why are you moving to Australia? Why are you like breaking up his family and all this? And she was like, it's for Wade's career. So whatever.
That went pretty well because like him as a choreographer and as a dancer, he definitely like evolved in America. I would say
like he took off. There was nothing more he could do in Australia. He couldn't become a professional in Australia.
That's basically like a big reason why they moved as well. Because like he was so young but already so high in like the dance world in Australia that he basically just it's time to move to America.
Yeah.
Michael basically helped him with it.
But then when they got there, contact was pretty slim. He didn't meet Michael until 2 months after they moved there, which he was like, that was pretty tough on me. And then he got a call off him and was like, I want you to be in my music video. I think it was bad. No, it wasn't bad. It was something else. It definitely wasn't bad. Anyway,
it was a music video.
He wanted him to be in the music video.
You mean the song bad?
Yeah, but it wasn't
I thought
bad.
the music video was
no.
Like
No.
And he got there, and then Michael was with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And
he felt like he was like replaced.
He was doing all this like, so basically what Michael does with the kids, he like goes into private with them a lot and he like keeps them close.
Yeah.
The kids that he likes. Yeah. But Wade could see that like Michael wasn't doing that
with him anymore.
He was doing it with Macaulay Culkin.
He has, yeah.
I've seen some things about it, but just didn't went that deep into Macaulay Culkin and.
Well, Macaulay Culkin still says that nothing happened between him and Michael.
So Macaulay Culkin wasn't in the documentary, but he's just mentioned.
Okay.
Like, it's just like they talk about him and how he was the new. It's basically like this revolving door, but he kind of keeps other kids at arm's length as well. You know what I mean? So I think if we get back to James, how that all transpired as well, how he got closer to Michael, right? Because he met him on the set of the thing.
The set of the thing. I'm not even sure how that happened with James.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like the Wade guy is super interesting because he like brings him to America and like that's really hard to hit.
Wade is almost definitely the main character in this.
Okay.
Let me see what I can find. You talk about other things.
Yeah. We're kind of at the point now where we can talk about actually what they said about what they did. So basically, allegedly they said Michael. So he would bring them to their room, and then he would like teach them. They were super young.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even ejaculate yet. Like they were like 6, 7, 8, 9. And he would like first show them how to masturbate, and then he would make them masturbate him. And then like they would give each other oral. He would give them oral and be like, okay, now you do the same thing to me. And then like as it evolved, he would like make them bend over, and then he would masturbate to their ass. And then he would like start. Then he would start licking their ass, and he'd make them lick his ass and stuff.
No, I don't think.
No, that happened. Yes.
Okay.
That happened. They said. Well, allegedly, they said that happened.
Michael, Jesus.
So that was the kind of stuff, and then this is like jumping in the future, but basically, when Wade was 14, he tried to have anal with him.
What?
Yeah, but it hurt too much for Wade, so he couldn't do it. But he bled. And then Michael...
Yeah, Michael called... Like, he went back and Michael called him.
Michael got super scared. He's like, where are your underwear from last night? You need to go destroy him.
Throw him away.
He's like, there might be blood on him. If there are, you need to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So he, like, Wade, like, ran home and, like, checked, found the underwear and, threw him in the trash outside his house. And that's the last time Wade ever... We'll talk to Michael for many years. That's basically the end of their, like, sexual relationship.
That is...
Okay, so yeah, so James lives like in the Los Angeles area, and he just after a Pepsi commercial, like Jackson just came to their house.
Oh, he kept coming over. Yeah, that's right. This is crazy. This is one thing I think, aside from the abuse stuff, this is like part of the craziest thing. So he just like kept going over to the house, like stay the night, whatever. He'd go see the family, have dinner with them. They'd come over to his house.
Yeah,
they were like really, really good friends. And then one day James was at his house, and he was like brought him into his closet, and he was like, "Take whatever you want." And he took the Thriller jacket.
And Michael's okay with it.
And he was just like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem."
Like Michael gave him like envelopes with money as well.
Yeah, he just gave him money, whatever. Like he would just make you feel like the most important person in the world.
Okay.
So he went on tour with him on the Bad Tour from Paris.
James. Oh yes, Paris is when when apparently his first abuse happened, right?
Let me see. Yeah, when he was 10 in Paris, he was like sexually abused.
Yeah,
on hotel rooms.
But the thing about it is, when they were kids, they didn't see it as abuse. Because Michael would be like, "This is how we show our love for each other.
Yeah,
like this is our special relationship." You know what I mean? But you can't tell anyone. If you tell anyone, we're both going to go to prison.
So like.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. So if you tell anyone or go to the police or do anything, like, it's really bad for my reputation. And we're both going to go to jail, and like the police will come. You will go to jail as well. Like, you will like smack in their heads.
So he just scared them a lot, but also like, I don't think they didn't obviously enjoy it, but I mean, it was like they were happy about it. As a kid, they were happy about it. They were like, "I'm happy." Like,
yeah, but like
they just didn't know.
They were in love, I guess. Yeah. And that's what he said as well. Like, this is how we share our love together.
But is now Wade and James, are they like homosexuals?
No, they're both straight. They both have kids and they both have wives.
That's why they made the documentary. They had they had wives and then got kids, and then they basically saw how their kids were like so easily
manipulated.
Yeah, so they were like, "Oh shit, this was me back then. Fuck, like this is how Michael like influenced me."
Yeah. So they didn't tell anyone till 2008 or not, till after he died. They didn't tell anyone. They were the only person that knew until after he died, and then James. We got super fucked up, like on drugs and everything, and he just wasn't really a person. Because he was like, it would take all my energy to go to work and be normal.
Yeah.
And then when I got home, I would just drink or take drugs.
Was he also in that like bad state during the documentary?
No, he's good now. He's good again because he's got like counseling and he told people about it and stuff since then. But he was like, he basically told his wife about it first.
Yeah.
And then a few hours later, he met his brother, and his brother was like, "Oh, my wife had this crazy dream last night that you told her that Michael Jackson," like his brother's wife, had this dream that like he's like, "You told her Michael Jackson like touched you when you were a kid," and then he couldn't hold it because he just told his wife and he was still like emotional about it. Yeah. He couldn't hold it, so then he told.
Well, he said he made like a joke about it.
No, he said he wanted. No, this was Wade. Sorry, this was Wade.
No,
this was Wade. This was Wade.
Yeah.
Because I remember him telling the story about the joke now.
Yeah.
So this was Wade. And he was like, usually what I would do is make this joke where like, "Oh yeah, well, no, he didn't touch me, but if all this stuff is coming out, I don't know why. What was wrong with me? Why am I not pretty?
Why am I not the pretty kid?"
Yeah. So he's like, he was like, I was about to make that joke, but then he's like, then I just broke down and I had to tell him.
Yeah.
So, and that's when they told the whole family, and his mother was like, I think the parents, we should talk about the parents for a while, because it's pretty interesting.
The parents?
What do you think about the parents?
How he like, how they slowly like moved away? Yeah, I guess with the hotel rooms, at first it was like, they
you judging him how he looks?
I want to see how, because I want to watch that. I didn't know that it was like a 2019 thing. I thought it was like
no, this just came out.
But yeah, so with the hotel rooms,
how did you watch it? Do you have an HBO?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Ziggo. I thought you were gonna like.
No, we have
illegally stream.
We watched part 1 legally.
Don't worry about it. But the thing is, like the hotel rooms, right? Okay, so they were basically always on the side of each other.
This is fucked
up. Like Michael had this hotel room there, and then the parents were like basically on the next room beside them. Okay. And then he slept with the kids.
Can I just mention about this quickly? So when the parents were beside him, he would do like drills, where he would be like, let's get clothes on as fast as possible.
He would like train.
them. Be like, okay, when you hear someone coming, get your clothes on quick as possible. We'll both get clothes up, then I'll get the door. He's like, and then we have to pretend like nothing's happening. We're just lying in bed watching a movie. Mm-hmm. So he would like do these like drills where he would pretend someone is coming and like get their clothes on and stuff.
Yeah, but like at first, like so they were basically next to each other first, the both rooms, and then later he was like, a couple of years passed, or I don't know, a couple of months, and then he said to the parents, "Oh yeah, I couldn't get like the best suite close to the room, so like you're like 2 floors down now." And then slowly it moved.
So it happened. Well, no, what happened first? It happened first in Paris, which is when the first abuse of James happened. This was really a James thing, not necessarily because Wade never really went on tour with him. He did a couple of dates here and there, but not a full leg. So like first in Paris, she was like, "Oh." They were like, "Well, we don't have a room available here, so you're down here." And she was like, "Well, okay, I guess." And then they went to somewhere in Germany next, I think. And then it happened again, and she was like, "Oh, no, I'm not that happy about this." But then they just kind of let it go. Yep. This is the weird thing about the parents. They kind of, in hindsight, it was a different time as well. Now we know that celebrities are not.
But like you said, that Michael like treats him really nice, and he's like really nice with the kids.
He's like a friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they're like, okay, so.
Well, also like.
But also they don't really know him though. they know him, but like
he's a big figure, right? As well, like king of like everyone knows this guy. He's the king of pop. He's like amazing. Like he's your hero.
Yeah.
As well. So like, how would you like?
It's like, how do you say no?
Yeah.
But also, it's like, I think now, we're looking at it through like now.
Yeah, I think it's like something like when you are a fan of someone, you just think like he's the best. Like he can't do anything wrong.
But I think even now, given what's happened with like Bill Cosby and Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein and all the celebrities that stuff has come out about.
This is basically why they're like going to court again now, because they have this French lawyer. And he said like, oh yeah, I should do it again now because like the Me Too stuff happened. Yeah. And all, like the priests and stuff, they got like charged as well now. So like maybe we have a better chance now because like it's more in the news and like stuff's going on.
But the only thing that will hinder their case, and yes, there were kids, so it might not hinder them that much, is that they did perjure themselves previously. So the court cases are interesting. So basically, there was the first court case in 94.
Let me see. 93, I think. 1993.
1993. And
that's the case Chandler.
Yeah, so they basically, Wade and James had both kind of moved on. They were being kept. He still had them around every once in a while, and they did stuff every once in a while, a few times a year. But they weren't the main. They were side hoes, let's say.
Yeah, that's fucked up, but yeah.
Wait, is it because like he's done with them, or
he's just kind of done with them, and there's a new thing? You know what I mean? He's just like,
or maybe like, or is it like he only likes boys at a certain age?
I think he prefers boys at a certain age, but he definitely doesn't bother him that much.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is they were moved on, and there was like a new thing. And what bothered Wade, which is it's funny because when they were in the documentary, they talk about it like they're still there, which is really gives you a really good perspective. Because Wade was like, I was really jealous because he was also Australian. This new kid, this Chandler guy, was also Australian. Okay. So he's like, he's got a new Australian boy. What the fuck?
Yeah, why am I not good enough?
I really want to prove myself to Michael now and like make sure, that he loves me again. But when this Chandler guy, obviously his parents found out or something, and they were suing him, and Michael was like, it's just his dad is so greedy.
Yeah, his dad is money greedy.
Told all the other families like, his dad is so greedy, he just wants money, he's suing me, like I'm famous, of course he would sue me.
And there's I think there's voice recordings of his dad like saying, oh yeah, we're gonna bring him down, we're gonna get rich because of this, we're gonna get him. So that like kind of helps his case as well.
So Michael was like, well, I need you all to testify for me, like you know me, we're friends. So he said the parents testified, Wade testified, James testified, Wade's sister testified, all saying that like nothing ever happened with Michael, because and Michael was like, well, you know what's going to happen now if we tell them about this. Like he said that to the boys, and to the parents he was just like, well, you know me, I'm not going to do it. Why would I do that? We're just friends. So they all believed him, they all testified for him, and he was found innocent because it was everyone else against this Chandler guy. Everyone else said he was innocent at this point. So he was proven innocent and moved on. And then in 2003?
2005, yes.
So there'd basically been almost zero contact at this point between Michael and Wade and James and their families. It almost pretty much been cut out because basically once he got married, he kind of called the families and were like, well, I'm not going to be able to call around anymore. And they, like, one of the mothers got this call, and then she looked at her husband and was like, we've just been dumped. Like, by Michael.
By Michael.
Yeah. So this, the 2005 thing is like, James didn't want to testify for him.
And neither did Wade.
And Wade did. Because Wade was still friends with him.
No, Wade didn't.
Yeah.
No.
James didn't.
No, and also Wade.
Right here.
I remember in the documentary he said.
No, Wade in the 2005 one, he did.
Is there a third one?
Yeah, where Wade goes like himself. Wade like in 2013, Wade like.
No, but there was another one.
Himself.
No, because Wade was like, Wade said he didn't want to do it, but he got a subpoena.
What is that?
It's when you're forced by law by a lawyer to come in and testify in court. There's definitely, I remember this. They both got subpoenaed for it.
No, like James doesn't do it. It's what it says here.
And Wade got subpoenaed.
That I don't know. It just said that Wade.
Yeah, no,
like testifies for him.
For sure he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was like basically in 2005. So this is the next court case. Someone else is suing him. Who was it?
Arvizo or something.
Yeah, I guess this is
some other kid.
This is not really this kid is not a player in the documentary.
Yeah.
But basically Wade is still friends with Michael and still doesn't see anything wrong with what happened, really.
So basically, James saved Chuck. He doesn't want to do it because like they haven't talked in a while and all that.
Yeah.
And Michael like kept calling him, right? Oh yeah, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. But then he doesn't want to do it, and this is the last time he talked to Michael because he doesn't want to testify for him. Michael's like, okay, out of my life now.
Yeah. And Wade, a similar thing happened to Wade. he kept getting calls. Or no, sorry, this didn't happen. Wade just went to his mother and was like, I don't want to do this. I also don't want you to do it. But this was also, sorry, James did this. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. So James went to his mother and was like, I don't want to do this. I also don't want you to do this. Michael is not a good guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything else. He didn't elaborate, but his mother knew by this what he meant.
Yeah.
Wade didn't want to testify. Michael called him and said, I don't want to put myself through that again. I hope you understand. Like, it's a lot of stress. And Michael's like, yeah, I understand how much pressure it is to be up on the stand and whatnot. It's okay, don't worry about it. A week later, he gets a letter with the subpoena, which is like what makes you legally you have to come to court.
Okay.
So, and that's not set up by the law. That's set up by Michael's lawyers. So he just told him, "Don't worry about it," and then sent him
and forced him to come
basically.
To court. Yeah.
But he was still in the frame of mind where he was like, "Well, I don't want to."
Yeah, he was still like, because he was 22 at this point, I think, and he was still like.
They still love Michael. They didn't want him to go to prison. He was like, in his head, Michael and prison do not go together.
And for Wade, that he was still like very much in his life because he was doing the choreography thing and like.
Michael will call by Michael. So about the Britney Spears thing, this is really weird. They didn't elaborate on that too much. I'm kind of curious about it. Michael was obsessed with Britney Spears. Like, he would call Wade a lot trying to meet Britney Spears.
Yeah, because he was doing the.
He was doing the choreography. He was the creative director for her tour.
Okay.
And he would just call. They didn't say much about it. Just that he was. Just that he was obsessed with Britney Spears. And
maybe they're setting up a new documentary.
Yeah, part 4.
But like, what we can gather from this, if this is true, Michael Jackson is definitely not straight.
No.
So I don't know what the interest is.
I don't know.
What if like he is straight, but he just likes little boys?
But what he told.
Yeah, he is, because he got kids as well.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. Lots of gay men have kids, and then that happened.
And all the relationships he had, all the marriages he had, were like 2 years.
Yeah, he would just keep wives to keep the public perception.
Maybe he's bi.
Possible as well.
Possible.
I just said he's not straight. I didn't say he's gay.
I don't know. Maybe he is anything.
Anyway,
so in 2013.
Well, I think the 2005 case is interesting as well, because remember Wade went to the house before he testified and everything. So Wade, he gets a subpoena. Wade's like, I don't really know. They don't go into detail about why he just accepts it and still accepts his friendship and stuff. But whatever. Wade and his whole family, they all got subpoenas. They all go to Neverland the night before they have to testify, and they have this dinner. And apparently Michael's just dead sick.
Fucked up.
Like the case wasn't going well. It's looking like he's going to lose. It really wasn't going well.
And he like had to bring wine, right?
No, this is different. That's it, before he died. This is a while ago.
Oh, okay.
So he went with his family and they had a dinner, and apparently Michael's kid, who we should talk about in a bit as well. What's her name? Paris? Yeah, Paris. She was a kid at the time, and she was just like shaking him, like looking for his attention, but he was just like wasn't there. He was there in body, but not in mind. He was somewhere else, and he just looked sick. Like they showed video of him going to court, and there was guys like either side of him
holding him up. So
he just looked dead, and his Wade's mother made a pretty good point, and she was like, you and Macaulay Culkin are the only people in the world that can save him now, which kind of put him under pressure more. So both Wade and Macaulay Culkin testified, and he was...
So wait, the mom was like okay with
because she doesn't know.
Oh.
She doesn't know.
Yeah. She basically thinks everything's alright.
She thinks that Michael is still a friend. So him and Macaulay Culkin testify. Macaulay Culkin is a character, but they don't go into detail.
It's funny that when you look at the movie, it's like the second one on the cast.
Yeah, because he is featured a little bit prominently, but I guess they're afraid of a cease and desist. I guess.
From who?
From Macaulay Culkin. If you use someone's likeness too much, he could definitely get this thing slowed down. Maybe not taken off, but he could definitely get it slowed down. Another thing I thought was interesting, and I commented on it while we were watching it, like, there's a lot of brands that are placed very prominently in it, like Hilton are very notable. Pepsi.
The Pepsi thing, the commercial,
Like the Pepsi thing is a 10-15 minute long thing where they say Pepsi like 150, 200 times. Yeah. Like, if I was those brands, I'd be like, let's get out.
Yeah.
I think that's why maybe like Macaulay didn't.
Let's talk about that later.
Let's talk about that later.
Maybe like they want Macaulay in the documentary, but he's like kind of turning his life around right now, so he doesn't want to get involved again.
I don't think that anyone that would say Michael is innocent would get involved with this documentary. It's got a very clear message. The message is that he's a pedophile.
I'm okay. I don't think so. I don't think this documentary is very centered. Well, yeah, it is centered around Michael, but I think it's more like showing
it's about the boys.
How child abuse works or like evolves. Because like this documentary had a lot of effect on like people who had like child abuse, and loads of people went into therapy.
And as a point of that, we'll leave a link in the description for like a.
So wait, is it? So it's not like it's not a subjective documentary. It's not saying that Michael is innocent or Michael is a pedophile.
But see, it doesn't have a narrator. The boys are the narrator.
But they just tell their own story.
Yeah. It's probably one of the best documentaries I've watched.
Yeah.
Pacing wise, it never gets slow. Towards the end of part 2, maybe they talk a lot after he dies. But I guess it depends on what the draw is for you. Is the draw to hear the boys' stories, or is the draw to hear about what Michael Jackson did? If the draw is to hear the boys' stories, then it's probably interesting throughout.
So after Michael died, is there like during the
so this is a really weird thing that happens just before he dies.
Okay, during the documentary, is like Wade and James are like okay with it? They're still like Michael, or they're like
It's difficult. I think so. I don't think they hate him. Yeah. I think there's still love there.
Yeah.
Were they emotional while they're talking about
this? Yeah.
Wade more than James, I think. It's weird. No. Wade is less emotional about what actually happened. He's more emotional about the fact that it was Michael. James is more emotional like about what Michael did to him.
Okay.
They seemingly deal with it differently, I think.
But did Michael do that before Wade and James, or just like it started with Wade?
No, I think it was happening before. Yeah. But the way it seemed was that there's just a revolving door of families that he becomes friends with and then does stuff with their kids.
Yeah.
That's the way it was presented. Basically there's this one instance where the mother, it was after they had kind of been pushed away a little bit, but they came on a vacation to Neverland. It was like their vacation home. Now Michael was like, come whenever you want. And there was another family there. And when Michael first takes them to Neverland, he says, don't talk to strangers about me or anything, just be polite, say hello, and that's it. So they saw this other family and they were like, oh hey, how's it going? And they just ignored them. Like just the other family just didn't even barely look at them. And she was like, well, we're in Michael's house. I mean, come on. So this was like a new family, was what was presumed. We don't know anything about the kid, but it just seemed to be like that. It would be one family, and then another family, and then another family. It seemed to be I would say there's a lot of people who haven't said anything yet, and maybe won't.
That is just... That brings new lights on Michael in my eyes.
But before Michael died, he was doing a residency. This was before he went... So there was like 2 parts before he died. He was about to go on the This Is It tour. But before he set that up, he was doing a residency in Las Vegas. Do you know what that is?
No.
So like each hotel in Las Vegas, let's just say, I think it was in the MGM Grand. They always have a performer there, like a really famous one. And they just perform there every night for like a year.
Wow.
He did that?
So Michael was doing a residency in Las Vegas.
Damn.
And Wade was also choreographing shows for Cirque du Soleil in Vegas. So they were both living there. And Michael called him, or Wade called Michael and was like, hey, I have these dancers for Cirque du Soleil. Do you think you could like write a word for them just to give them some inspiration? You know, you're obviously like the king of pop, whatever, you know, it'd be good to get a word from you. And he was like, yeah, I'd love to. And also, you know, you should come over, we'll come over to the house, we'll watch a movie, bring some wine. And he was really like full on
direct
bringing the wine. He was like,
please bring the wine.
And he would text them and be like, don't forget the wine.
Yeah.
Please bring the wine. So then like Dwayne or Wade went with his wife. Dwayne showed up with his wife. Wade showed up with his
smell? What?
Wade showed up with his wife and the bottle of wine, and the first thing that he did when he came in the door was like, oh hey, did you bring the wine? So he was crazy about the wine.
Took the wine.
Like addicted to it?
And then he took the wine and he would just drink it and drink it and drink it. And he got
smashed.
He got smashed. And they were watching the movie. He wasn't smashed like violent or aggressive. He was just drinking.
He was just drinking.
And then at about it was getting towards the evening. They were there with his kids. They were watching a movie. Michael was like, I'm just going to go upstairs for a second. And he went upstairs, and then a few hours passed, and Wade was like to the kids,
didn't come back.
Do you want to go and check on him? And they were like, no, he's fine.
Yeah, this has happened.
And then he just never came back, and that was the last time him and Wade ever saw each other.
Okay. Did he die like in that?
No, he didn't die there.
Then like I think a couple of months later he died.
Because
of a heart attack.
Because of a
heart attack.
There's a lot of theories about that as well.
No, there's it's like proven now. I looked into it. He did too much. His personal doctor gave him like the medicine to like kill yourself.
Oh, okay.
What is it? It's like
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called either. Yeah, just like
it's a drug cocktail basically.
It's like a thing you inject.
Yeah, it's a cocktail. I don't mean it.
Yeah.
It's a cocktail of different drugs that you inject into yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So a medicine overdose is basically what he died of, and like his doctor got like sued for it as well later.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's basically killing.
So wait, so he got out, he got upstairs, and then he just
went upstairs and never came back. He was alive. He lived. He just fell asleep, I guess. And they were like to his kids, "Do you want to go check on your dad?" And they reacted as if it happens every day. Like, this is just the way he is.
It's normal.
So he seemed to have definitely a big substance abuse problem towards the end.
Yeah.
Stress overload or something. I don't know, something happened with him that he didn't feel good anymore, I guess.
The 2013 case. That's interesting. I don't really know much about that. So after Michael died, Michael died in 2009, right?
Yeah.
I think 2008 something.
I think so.
Yeah, so 2008-9.
2009.
Yeah. And also, did you know, so we were watching the documentary, did you know about this fucking crazy ceremony they had for him at the Staples Center?
Yeah, in the Staples Center, yeah.
Did you know? Yeah, they had like this huge funeral for him.
Mariah Carey was there.
Yeah, they did like a performance. Lionel Richie was there. Like, but there was fans there as well. It was like, you know how big this, like WWE run events in the Staples Center. I think SummerSlam was there.
I remember when he died, it was like a big deal.
Yeah, but they had
they
had his funeral in the Staples Center. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, let me see. This was like,
I mean, a lot of people loved him.
1.6 million fans were there.
That's crazy.
Oh no! Wait. Oh wow! I'm fucking up. 1.6 million fans applied for tickets.
Ah, okay. But there's, I don't know. I think the Staples Center is about 30,000.
There were like around 9,000 people.
Oh, there. I'm way off. 30,000.
31 million people watched it though.
But I didn't even know about this. I mean, that's kind of
there's loads of people.
It was 10 years ago now, but you were 9. You were 13, 12.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like 22 now, so
yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
No.
Like, or did you even get?
I know who Michael Jackson is.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't listen to him much, but when he thank you, come again.
Joanna, get the door.
Yeah, so
I know he's a big thing, and when he died, it was like all over the news.
Yeah,
it's just insane. Even like Arabic news.
For me, he just got popular when he died. Basically, it's kind of weird because I knew about his music, but I didn't know about Michael Jackson, the guy, like the dancing and the things. Yeah. So basically, I just looked at.
I know
checked him out when he died. Basically.
I know the moonwalking. I knew the song. I think it goes "You Sexy Later" or something like that.
What?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because it has "sexy" in it, and in series like, "Oh, sexy." Oh, that's a bad word.
Okay.
But I've seen the moonwalking a lot. A lot of people like used to do it, like people doing breakdance in the street.
Yeah.
But when he died, it was a big deal. Like a lot of, like the Arabic news, mostly like do news about like politics and wars and shit. And they bring like Michael Jackson, like that's a big deal then.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed like a picture of him. It was just so fucking scary. It gave me nightmares. It looked so.
Honestly, when I was a kid, like I loved and still like Michael Jackson's music. But I couldn't look at him as a white guy.
I couldn't look at him in interviews, like in music videos, just some music videos.
He scared me, to be honest.
He looks scary.
He still does scare me, like, to look at.
Yeah.
And the way he talks also. It adds up.
True.
Like, there's a reason he was a giant face in one of those movies or one of these games. It was like a villain and a giant ghost face. Because, I'm not saying anything, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he had a strange...
So you want to talk about his daughter now? She's saying some interesting stuff lately.
Yeah, so... I think it's
We'll talk about that later.
TMZ or something. It's like the...
Yeah, it's everyone knows TMZ. They're fucking dirty cunts.
Yeah, so they basically accused her of... that she wanted to kill herself. Mm-hmm. And then she tweeted, fuck you, you fucking liars.
Which, to be honest, when your dad, who you probably don't know this stuff about if it happened...
Mm-hmm.
And when he's getting attacked like this in public, that's a reasonable...
Yeah.
Suicide is never a reasonable response, but... feeling bad about it is definitely like she definitely feels attacked right now. I would imagine.
Yeah, and but she kind of got attacked by the TMZ things. Like they said she did like drug abuse but she's like all denying all these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fully sure about it though, because like she's been into some cheeky business as well. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, she says it's not true. She says she doesn't want to.
I remember like in one of the, I don't know, it was an award or something. She was given a speech, and like one of the people were just like pinching on the fucking shoulder to like keep talking.
That's nice.
Yeah, like that.
That's weird, man. That's fucking. I don't know. There's some strange things going on with Michael. Yeah. So now because of the documentary, a lot of like companies are dropping out of like Michael Jackson's merch, for example.
Well, this is the thing. I was watching the True Geordie podcast about it as well, and they mentioned like he's just ingrained in pop culture now.
Yeah.
Forever. He just is. He is pop culture.
Yeah.
He's everything. He's everywhere.
Like he's not everything.
Well, he's
everywhere.
He is but he is the modern pop star. Like
he is like the.
He basically started with video clips
for a pop singer.
He's the prototype.
Because he made like movies around his songs, so he basically started with video clips, and like loads of people are like influenced.
And you have people like what was his producer's name again? His main producer. He's like super famous guy now. Can you Google it for me? Because Rick Rubin.
Okay.
Rick Rubin is like his main producer, and you look at like a lot of Rick Rubin's best work now, which are Michael Jackson songs. That is muddied now, so it's not just his reputation, if this is true, that gets dragged to the mud, right?
I remember like one of his music videos that's Chris Tucker in them. It was basically like just like a long short-ass movie.
Yeah.
All his video clips are like movies. They're like 10 minutes long.
But this is kind of weird, but I saw this funny meme and it was like Michael Jackson was an asshole in his music videos. He'd just come in, steal someone's girl, and hee out of there.
Yeah.
You gotta put that in the background. You'll find that meme.
The meme.
Oh, wow.
That's funny, dude. That's so funny. Wow, that's a good meme.
Joanna, stop looking weird at us. We have also fans behind them.
We're actually doing this podcast live for one person.
We have a live audience. Thank you.
A studio audience.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien, watch out.
We don't have to like edit in fake clapping. We just have
Can you clap for us?
Yeah.
Here's a free T-shirt.
Wow.
There's a prize under your chair for everyone in the audience.
Shit. No prize.
There's nothing.
It's
a teapot.
It's a teapot. Got him.
Nice. So about the brands, right? So this Louis Vuitton T-shirt, for example, had his shoes on it, and they were like,
"Go on,
doesn't work." But keep on going.
I wanted to check how long we were going for. Cause I'm sick of this already.
So yeah, this T-shirt, just had his feet on it, right?
Yeah. Michael Jackson's feet.
Yeah, like you know how he like puts his feet like.
Oh yeah, I know.
And they were already like fucked. They were already like we need to like get rid of this from the collection just because of his feet are on it. And I just wanted to ask like,
wait, what's this?
What do you think about that?
His feet.
Yeah, because you know how he does like the feet like up.
Yeah.
Like he moves like he stands on his toes.
Yeah.
And they already were like, no, we need to get this out of the collection.
I like to distinguish the musician
I was gonna
music
ask,
from the person itself. That I do this with everyone.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask.
I like Leonardo DiCaprio, and like some people say,
what did he do?
Huh?
What did he do?
I don't know. He's just like he's a coming up actor.
What did he do wrong?
What did he do wrong?
No, he didn't do wrong. In like he.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Wait. Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me elaborate.
Yeah.
Allegedly, like he donates a lot of money to Israel.
Okay.
So in the Middle East, it's like, he's a bad guy.
Okay.
And they were like, why are you watching Leonardo DiCaprio's movie? He's donating money. Like,
that requires a lot of cultural context to be honest.
Like, what does that mean?
I was like, not Leo.
But I like Leo movies.
Titanic is ruined now.
I like Leo's movies. I like him as an actor. Yeah. As a person, I don't give a fuck what he does.
That's
the thing. Would you still wear a shirt with like Michael Jackson's face?
I don't like anybody's, except bands. I don't like any celebrities' merch.
But I probably wouldn't wear it.
I think everyone who wears merch is like gay.
What?
Except for ours when we release some.
But this is the time we need to support him, alright?
Okay.
No, he's already dead.
Yeah, but we can still do it.
Also, Marvel does not need help.
We can still do it.
No, they need, because like Iron Man is about to die.
Oh,
he's already dead actually. Yeah.
No, he's on the space station, dude. Chill.
Yeah. When they released the trailer, he said he only had 48 hours.
And Ant-Man is going to crawl up Thanos' ass, and then they're going to fly.
No, he's just going to expand.
How did we get from Michael Jackson to fucking Thanos' ass? Oh well. Fucking hell.
Okay, I was going to ask a question because in the documentary they play a fair bit of his music, and I found myself like moving to it.
Yeah,
like,
it's good. Like his music is so good.
Yeah.
Although, like in the back of your mind,
it's
you're like,
uncomfortable. Like it's kind of right now for the next 6 months to a year, it's going to be uncomfortable to listen to.
Yeah.
I know I'm from Ireland, and our national broadcaster, who's also owns the national radio networks, they aren't going to play his music anymore.
Yeah, there's some stations in the Netherlands that are.
But that is all. That
even
is,
some grocery stores are like, he's off the playlist now.
So in Ireland, the main 2 TV channels and the main 4 radio stations are not going to play his music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big kind of impact from where I'm from, at least.
I don't
listen to the radio, so.
No, I don't follow that stuff because, just like I said, like the Michael Jackson the musician is different from Michael Jackson the person.
But I do think,
yeah, that's what you would say, but then like.
But I do think there has to be a cool off period though. This is still really fresh.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: I wouldn't play his music out loud right now, like especially not in front of like other people.
Especially like.
Bad. So you would
especially not in front of boys.
Especially like the song "Bad."
This fucking segue. Hey, so you would agree with Drake that he's not using any of his songs in his tour anymore?
What?
Yeah, he had like Michael Jackson songs,
them, right?
Sort of, and he in his tour he had like one Michael Jackson song that we just play.
They actually played in Dublin last night.
Amazing. But then, like he now doesn't play this song anymore in his tour because of leaving Neverland. Basically.
I mean, yeah, Drake is international.
I mean, there does need to be. I don't think he should be blacklisted as a musician forever because his songs are defining songs in pop, that they are, and rock, and every genre. To be honest,
yeah,
you cannot just ignore Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
You can't remove.
You can't just like remove it like, oh, it never happened.
There's no removing Michael Jackson from history now. That doesn't happen.
I think Thriller was like the best-selling album ever in the history of music, I guess.
Don't play this.
Not anymore.
Don't play this.
No, I'm not gonna play it. I just want to see the amount of hits he has. Yeah, like see that They Don't Care About Us is like 600.
How much they charging for this? Is it?
11 euros.
His movie, This Is It, is still 11 euros. It came out almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, like
they want to make money from somewhere.
But also now, did you search Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
We just see on the YouTube search results here that it's cluttered by Leaving Neverland now as well. So he will always, forever now, have this.
I did also because I did some research, so maybe like the YouTube algorithm.
Is that how it works? Can you just preference? Can you just set filter by most relevant?
Can we?
Yes.
How long have we been going?
Almost an hour.
Okay.
We've got. 20
yeah, so it's already on. Like.
Okay.
I want to search for hits though. That's not true.
I would imagine the most viewed video is Thriller or Smooth Criminal.
No, Thriller for sure.
Probably Thriller.
Smooth Criminal has a good video. Also, just a fun fact about Smooth Criminal. So there's a part
like
where
600 million.
There's the part where he walks across the panels and they light up.
I don't think I watched that.
Okay, well, never mind.
Good shit. Oh well. Well, I don't know.
Do you remember the part where he walks across the panels and they light up in Smooth Criminal?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually a guy underneath that had to follow him along.
What?
Because it was like in the 80s, right?
Oh, wow.
So they didn't have like it manually, so he had to like get it perfectly right, the timing, because he couldn't see. So that's pretty
Wow.
cool.
That's pretty well done.
Yep.
Dedication. Dedication.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, if it's like, so yeah, you can't remove Michael Jackson from history because he's influenced too much of pop culture to be removed. But I do think that we need to take time before his music is on the radio and stuff again.
Yeah, I think the good thing to do is just have his music available, like in online, like Spotify or iTunes. Just don't play it on radios.
Yeah.
Just
make it a choice, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, some people like me would like. I wouldn't mind listening to Thriller
but
or
also,
Smooth Criminal.
We have about a year ago now. Spotify removed artists. I can't think of all of them, but R. Kelly was one of them from like daily mixes and playlists.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I think that's cool. Like, if those companies want to stay like in the clear, especially like Spotify, because they're Swedish, so they want to always be like we're nice. We're from Sweden.
From Sweden, we are good.
What did you say? You said that like. I don't know, some wrestler like has named. We're from Sweden, yeah.
Sweden.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like I said, just leave it as a choice, because you cannot erase Michael Jackson from history.
That's true. That is true.
Do you think he did it?
Like I said at the beginning, if it's not proven, then I don't believe it.
Well, he has been investigated by the FBI for 50 years, and they couldn't find anything.
However,
which is why a lot of people are still like, you're fake. Well, why are you even making this documentary? Nothing happened. The FBI 50 years.
No. I wouldn't mind I would watch the documentary. Like I love some skepticism inside.
See, like this makes me. To be honest, I had like the feeling that he was up to some business before I watched it.
Yeah.
Still liked his music and stuff. Now it's like it's very compelling.
I need to watch it now because.
Although the FBI thing, a lot of people are saying that the FBI is not saying anything about Michael Jackson because they want to like keep the White House like out of weird shit, because Michael Jackson has so many fans. Yeah. Then they're like, if the FBI would like fuck him up, then maybe people don't like America anymore.
But Bill Cosby had a lot of fans as well.
Well, but Michael Jackson has more. Like he's an icon,
Yeah.
And they're like, do we really want to destroy this icon by these things?
At this point now, his legacy is kind of destroyed anyway.
Kinda.
Well, that's not true because he's still everywhere.
Not his legacy. His legacy as a man. He won't be fondly remembered. His music will be fondly remembered.
Yeah.
Like before this stuff, Michael Jackson, the man, would be fondly remembered.
I don't know. He did some cheeky business, man. What the fuck? He dangled his kid out of the window. But that was just. He was like, just show my kid. But he dangled him with one feet out of. No, I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, but people would like that was it's Mike. Like he will.
Yeah, but that's also one of the issues, right? Because it's just that's just Michael. That's just good old Michael.
That is a phrase.
That's just Michael dropping kids from
that is a phrase that they said a lot in the documentary. That's just Michael.
Yeah, he didn't have it. He's just a kid, This is just Michael. What is this?
It's just.
I don't know if that is even going to be picked up.
Wow!
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. Put on the
wow, that's funny. Fucking hell.
I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've said enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point is,
I've got a funny idea for a segment. Give some bad advice.
About what?
Anything.
Give bad advice?
Yeah.
If you're an artist, touch kids.
That is pretty bad advice, to be honest.
I won't follow up on that.
Don't follow up on that kind of advice.
No. Wow, that's
a good advice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Follow up.
Good segment, dude. Yeah. Like I thought about it yourself, so properly. So.
This podcast, right? Zero effort. This is a low effort content here.
Okay.
Just watch.
What do you mean low effort? Look at this. Look at this.
Wow. Is that porn?
Oh, where are we? Are we on the Caribbean?
Why is there a picture of your mom on this?
Wow. Yeah, dude.
Holy shit! What's going on here? That's amazing.
Look at this. Look at this thing following my hand.
Good luck editing.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Let me wrap it up.
Okay, we'll wrap it up. We'll leave a link to SupportLine in the description if you've been affected by abuse in your past and you want to talk to someone about it. Also, we'll leave a link to our videos, and I'm making a promise that our next normal video will be up within a week of this one.
That's a big.
Or promise. A week before, or a week after. But it's on the record now.
Frame this.
Need to motivate myself. Need to motivate myself to upload it.
Do we also promise to have a?
And we'll have a podcast next week.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be weekly. We'll put them up on Fridays.
Okay. What? I cannot edit that. I mean, I guess I can.
In a week.
Oh, you mean next Friday?
Next Friday. Okay. It's Friday today. So we'll record on Fridays, upload on Fridays.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alright, subscribe, please.
And maybe suggest in the comments what
kind of stuff you want to see us talk about.
Yeah. I think since we started about documentaries, we should do the just the personal thing, the Under the Giant thing.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
I don't know about that.
You know Under the Giant?
No.
We'll explain after the podcast.
Okay. We're gonna educate him.
I'll be the idiot this time, yay.
Yeah. We will see you guys next time where we will be very hot. Spoiler alert.
Best reizen, Gijs.
Okay.
Because we're Central Station.
See ya.
Bye. Good luck.